Hello and welcome to my GW20 watch list. Starting off with the defenders, Trippier still remains the best option, probably the best defensive option in the game, considering his bonus potential, the clean sheet potential that Newcastle offer, and yeah, just a great option. Next up we have Perisic, Trent and Robertson. Now my thought behind putting these players in the yellow bracket is that simply I don't have a lot of confidence in any of the Premier League defenses currently, except for example Newcastle and Arsenal and Man City. So if you think that there won't be a lot of clean sheet, you just might as well go for these attacking defenders like Perisic, Trent, and Robertson. Yeah, they offer attacking threat. Perisic has a double game week. Trent and Robertson might get a double game week in 21. So yeah, they're okay options. Personally, I won't go there, but they're decent. Cancelo has really fallen massively in these past few weeks after the World Cup break. Simply not first choice currently in Pep's plans because with the change of formation, with the emergence of a certain 3.9 million asset, Cancelo at 7.2 just doesn't offer value. If you have him in your team, you might keep him if you don't want to take a hit. He might get some minutes, might start one of these games, but I wouldn't get my hopes up. I think he will be benched for both of those games and come on as a substitute in both of them. So yeah, after the double game week has gone, Cancelo might fall even further into the red bracket because I don't see him as a viable option currently. Next up, James. He was pictured in training, I believe, slowly returning to fitness, but with the state Chelsea are in and with his injury concerns, he is not an option. Laporte and Stones. Laporte, currently, I believe he's behind Ake in the pecking order for that left center back or left back role. So yeah, wouldn't go there. Stones injury concerns. He would be higher on the list if not for the injury concerns because he played well in the last game and seems to be one of the preferred center backs. But yeah, due to the injury concerns, I wouldn't go there. Wait for the press conferences, of course, and make your decision then. In the 4.6 to 5.5 million bracket, we have White and Shaw at the top. White, yeah, excellent value at 4.7. Shaw got a massive hole in the last game and the fixtures look decent after the Arsenal game. He has a double in this game week 20, so great option. Varane and Martinez, decent options. Varane offers more attacking threat, more goal threat definitely than Martinez, but he is more injury prone and he's more expensive. Martinez, on the other hand, 4.5 million, decent option. Just don't expect a lot from an attacking point of view, but the clean sheet potential is there because United have been decent defensively. Akanji and Ake, I believe they will start the double game week. Maybe not both games, but it's possible. Ake seems to have solidified himself in that left back role, or left center back, if you want to call it that way. And Akanji has played a lot of minutes since coming in with Diaz's injury and Stones perhaps also being injured. Seems to be a good option. Gabriel, still a decent option if you want an Arsenal defender. I prefer White, but he's okay. Doherty has the attacking returns. Spurs are not good defensively, we have to say. But as I said, if you don't expect a lot of clean sheets from teams in the next couple of game weeks, you might as well go for the attacking fullbacks or wingbacks. Me is a new addition on the list simply due to the fixtures he has. They are decent, but I wouldn't go there. Brentford, they're a good team. They're picking up some steam since the World Cup break, but from a defensive point of view, I'm not convinced. Konate, also a new addition to the list if you want to cover the Liverpool defense, but you don't have the money for Trent or Robertson. You can go for Konate, but as I said, I don't know why you would want to cover Liverpool defensive options. Dunk, Dyer, Cresswell, and all these assets like Villa defenders, Wolves, etc. All the rest of the teams, just not an option currently. In the 3.9 to 4.5 million bracket, we have Botman at the top still. Still, I believe he's a great option. Newcastle are just an excellent defensive team, and yeah, definitely a good option. Rico Lewis is a new name on the list. There are, of course, as with all the City players not named, Ederson, Kevin De Bruyne, and Haaland, concerns over rotation with him, but for 3.9 million, and in my opinion, he is first choice right back currently, or rather defensive midfielder because of the new formation that Pep's playing with. The right back slots into the midfield and plays in line with Rodri almost, while the three other defenders play as left center back, central center back, and right center back. So yeah, for this formation and for 3.9 million, I think he's an excellent option currently to go for. Yes, he does block a City slot, but as I said, if you already have KDB or Haaland, if you don't want to go for KDB and you already have Haaland, you won't need that third City spot anyway, because there's not a lot of clear options from Manchester City, except maybe Mahrez, but also the rotation risk is there. So I think he's just a great option. Bueno, 3.9 million, yeah, still a good option, good enabler. Slight rotation risk, for example, if Ait Nouri comes in, but I think he's decent. Soufal, simply due to the price, that's why he's here, but I wouldn't go there. Stupinian, Patterson got an injury. Williams not even in the starting 11 currently. And Stupinian, I just don't believe in Brighton's defensive capabilities. And yeah, they might get a double game week, I believe, in 21. But there are better options. So yeah, that's it for the defenders. Moving on to the midfielders, KDB and Salah are still top of the premium bracket. Even though they both blanked, I still believe they are decent options. KDB seemingly the only nailed Man City midfielder with 2 double game weeks on the horizon. I think he's a good option. Salah, Liverpool, I still think, are a great attacking team. He's on penalties. All the other arguments that we talked about before still stand for Salah. Might get a double game week in 21, so that could be an additional bonus for the Egyptian king. Bruno Fernandes, double game week is here, but I think he hasn't really shown. I mean, he's been unlucky, you could say, because he has created some decent chances for the likes of Anthony, and he's playing for a Manchester United team there that are very good currently, I would have to say. Even though the fixtures have been really easy for Manchester United, they have played well even before the break. And yeah, they look like a good team, but for this price and for the returns that he's having, I'm just not convinced. Rashford even took the last penalty, so he might be off penalties. I wouldn't go there. Son is an interesting option. I might even change him to the orange color. Why? Because he always scores against Man City, right? And even against Arsenal, you'd expect that Tottenham will park the bus, let's say, and try to hit Arsenal on the counter. And Son excels in these kind of games. So if you really want to go for a punt, you might go for Son, but at that price and at the current state of the Tottenham team, I wouldn't go there. Raheem Sterling injured, no. In the 7.2 to 8.3 million bracket, we have Bukayo Saka as the best option currently. He will play every game. He is on penalties. He plays for a great Arsenal team that are well, maybe even favorites to win the title currently. So yeah, excellent option. Mahrez is a new addition to the list with the fixtures City have and the fact that he's been rested for the cup game. So we'll probably start. You never know with Pep, but the best Man City midfielder not named Kevin De Bruyne currently. So yeah, decent option, even good option, let's say. I personally wouldn't go there simply because of the fear of rotation, but yeah, he's a good option. Mount, Kulusevski, Anthony Foden, all in this orange bracket, meaning they are not good options in my opinion. Chelsea are in this array, so I wouldn't go for Mount. Spurs aren't playing well, wouldn't go for Kulusevski, even though they do have the double game week. Anthony, there's a better option in Rashford, so I'm not too convinced. The returns also haven't been great from Anthony ever since the World Cup break. There's also a small possibility of rotation with Garnacho, so I'm not convinced. Foden, yeah, we just have to accept it. I think that he's just not first choice anymore, and move on from Foden. If you have him, maybe keep him for the double game week. He might get some minutes. He might get some returns off the bench. He might even start one of these games. But for the long run, I don't believe he's a good option. In the 5.3 to 7.1 million bracket, yeah, these are the best options simply. Almiron, Martinelli, Rashford, Odegaard, still amazing options. For the price, they offer excellent value. They have been returning well, and the fixtures are decent for all of these players in the short to medium term. Rodrigo was another addition to the list. You have to respect the fixtures. The fixture run for Leeds is quite nice. They have been an okay attacking team this season. So Rodrigo playing out of position as a striker, I think he's even on penalties, is a good option. Leeds, I mean, the problem of course is that you have these options from Arsenal, United, and Newcastle, who are just better teams than Leeds. That's why I prefer them. But he could be a good option if you want to be a bit different and capitalize on the fixture run that Leeds have. Gross, not much to say here. I prefer Mitoma. I think he's a better option. He's playing in a deeper role. Also, McAllister might be a good option, but as we've seen this season, he is, well, not the best at FPL returns. He's a great player, but I fear he lacks the goals and assists to really be a good FPL asset. Wissa is here, same argument as Rodrigo. The fixtures are good in the short term, but unlike Rodrigo, he's not nailed, let's say, even though Rodrigo can be rotated. Leeds have a lot of attacking options. But yeah, he's been returning decently in the past few games. The fixtures are there. I wouldn't go there personally, but if you want to go differential, he's a decent option. Next up, we have Trossard. He's De Zerbi. I think he has talked about his mind not being in the right place, so I believe he's a sell. He might even get a transfer in this January transfer window. Even though Brighton might get a double game week in 21, I prefer options like Mitoma, even Gross and McAllister. James Ward-Prowse, Paqueta, and Gordon, and all these other midfielders are simply not worth considering currently. In the 4.2 to 4.9 million bracket, Pereira gets a small downgrade simply because with the double game week out of the way and the fixtures looking rough, he's not the best option I believe if you're looking for a cheap midfielder, I would prefer Mitoma, who has been excellent. Really good for Brighton. Brighton are under the Zerbi looking like a great attacking unit, so Mitoma, I believe, is an excellent option. Might even get a rise into the best category if they do get a double game week in 21. Bailey, still seemingly first choice as a forward for Aston Villa, but I prefer these options instead. And the Silva is here. Well, the fixtures are great and the price is great, but don't expect a lot from him. And yeah, that's it for the midfielders. And in the forward slots, we have Haaland still remains the best option in my opinion, even though Man City have been struggling. Next up, Harry Kane. Great option. I believe he's closer to Haaland's bracket than the likes of Mitrovic, Martial, Nketiah, and Wilson. But I'm simply running out of colors, so he remains here. Yeah, what to say about Harry Kane? His returns speak for themselves. No matter how poor Spurs have been, he's just returning. He keeps scoring. He keeps assisting. So amazing player, amazing option. Darwin Nunez, there are some reports that he is injured. So wait for the press conferences. I think he's a decent option, a decent player for the upcoming game weeks, especially if Liverpool do get a double game week in 21. He has been frustrating many FPL managers, myself included, but the chances are coming his way, so if he is fit, he's a decent option. Havertz and Vardy, not much to talk about here. Chelsea have been abysmal, so I wouldn't go anywhere near their options, especially for this kind of price. In the 6.3 to 7.7 million bracket, we have Mitrovic, Martial, Nketiah, and Wilson sharing the lime green bracket, or whatever that color is. Mitrovic, look, with the double game week out of the way, he has dropped a bit. He used to be in the best possible in the dark green bracket, but yeah, with the fixtures not looking that great, Newcastle, Spurs, and Chelsea in the next three, look, I wouldn't be surprised if Fulham scored against all three of these teams because they've just been excellent going forward. So he still remains a great option. Not as good as he was before the double, of course, but still great. Martial has actually been really disappointing for Manchester United. I've owned him since the World Cup break. The fixtures have been excellent. He has a double game week, so he's still a good option, but very disappointing with Weghorst coming in. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if Weghorst takes that forward spot simply due to the fact that Martial has looked really, really sluggish. He's been missing chances and just hasn't looked sharp in overall play. So yeah, still a good option, but next week definitely getting a downgrade on the watch list. Nketiah, Arsenal striker for 6.6 million. I really don't need to talk about him anymore. Just a great option. Wilson, he is back. Also, Isaac is back, so he might get reduced minutes. But with the fixture run Newcastle have and with the form they've shown all season, honestly, and the quality they have in their team, just remains a great option. Yeah, these strikers, the rest of these strikers in this bracket, we shouldn't really consider. Adams, Watkins, Felix. Felix actually played really well in my opinion until the red card, but yeah, the red card means he's banned, I believe, for the next 3 games, so he's not in our consideration. The rest of the strikers also non-options. Tony, with the the betting ban looming over him, and with injury concerns, wouldn't go there personally, which is a shame because the fixtures are real nice and he has been excellent this season. In the 4.3 to 6.2 million bracket, or rather the 4.6 to 6.2 million bracket, we have Johnson and Mbomo as the leading options. Look, if you really don't have the funds for these players in the 6.3 to 7.7 million bracket, these green options, you can go for Johnson and Mbomo. The fixtures are looking very good, but these are teams that just aren't on the level of, let's say, Arsenal and Newcastle. And in the cheap enabler bracket, so 4.2 to 4.5, there we go. We have Greenwood and Ferguson. Ferguson is a new option. Considering Welbeck's injury concerns and considering Trossard is seemingly out of favor, Ferguson could get an extended run of minutes in that Brighton team, which, as I said, is looking great from an attacking point of view. So for 4.5 million, he could be a very, very, very interesting option. Greenwood, not a guaranteed starter by any means, but the price is so great if you need a striker to be on your bench. If you're, for example, playing with 5 midfielders, he is a great option. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this week's watch list. I would wait to do my transfers until the press conferences because there's a lot of news. For example, Darwin, and yeah, I think I forgot to mention Martial. Also, some reports that he might be missing from the squad this game week. So yeah, look out for the press conferences. Surely we'll get some news. And yeah, thanks for watching. See you guys next time. Bye.